All right, Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahawah, Bahashem Yahawashi, Bahashem Akakwadash. Double honor to the apostles and the elders, the elder bishops of Great Millstone, whom we will. Peace and salutations to the elect scattered out the four corners of the earth, to the men on the highways and the byways that are pushing out this word in truth and sincerity, and to the remnant men, women, and children of the elect. To you all, I say Shalom. My name is Ahmawan Ahyash, and I'm back with another lesson through the power and spirit of Yahweh by Yahawashi. Lord willing, this lesson is edifying. I just wanted to make mention of something that we're seeing amongst, something that we've noticed, that we've mentioned, that we've talked about, that we've warned, what you would, I guess, consider the congregation of those who know and understand that they're Israelites and have woken up to the truth of certain things, and maybe amongst these camps and this, that, and the third. But, you know, all of us are familiar with Captain Tazariak and the ISUPK. And I came across this video that he posted 6 hours ago. It is now Sunday, October 19th, 2025. He posted this video today, earlier, 6 hours ago. And again, this is something that we've warned you Israelites about. We've talked about. We've made mention of countless times. The title of this video confirms and speaks for itself. It confirms what we've been saying about these groups, about these camps, and the spirit that they're in. It's very telling in why they're in this thing. They've been called, but they have not been chosen. And again, this is more proof of that. And when I say more, this is more proof of that, I mean the title of this video that he put up says it all. Okay? It says it all. It says here, this is from Captain Tazariak. This is his channel, right? It says Captain Tazariak breaks internet versus Jewish rabbis, 1 million views in 6 days. Okay? Now the reason why I want to highlight that is that's what these men are in this for. Okay? That's what these men are in this. These men are in this to show, to get views, to get attention, to show this is not about waking up our people. This is not about teaching. This is not about, and I don't want to necessarily say not about teaching, because some of these lessons in these debates do teach. However, like Elder Apostle Tahar always says, you're going on these panels, you're doing these debates, but it's not like these people are going to change their stance or their positions on who's who and what is what. They don't believe that you're the Israelites, especially no Jewish rabbi or Jewish rabbis, plural. They don't believe that you're the Israelites. They don't believe in none of that shit that you talking about. And when I say shit, you know, I mean that's how they see it. All right? And trying to convince these people and going amongst these heathens the way you are. Like, look at you. Look at Captain Tazariak sitting at this table amongst these heathens. He looks completely out of place. This is out of order. This is out of whack. He out of line for this, man. Like, why? Right? You do not belong here. Right? You steady trying to convince. Who you trying to convince? All right? How about you prophesy? How about you teach about what's coming? Okay? The impending dangers of Esau, Edom, and Babylon the Great. About how he's about to come down with great wrath. About the unjust, cruel Lord that we are witnessing, that's going to usher in the MOTB in World War III. How about you make more mention and actually get with the program and start teaching what the MOTB is. Okay? But how many more debates are you going to have? How many more back and forths are you going to have with either heathens, whether it's heathens of other nations or heathens from our people? All right? Because there's a lot of that happening too. You're constantly trying to sit in front of people who don't believe in what you believe in and give them something that they don't want, right? They don't want the names of Yahweh. Well, I ain't even gonna say that because it's not like y'all are pushing the names. You know, these other camps are not really pushing those names. But it's not like they want deliverance. They don't want salvation. They don't want a new way of life. They don't want anything that you're trying to offer that's not coming from Babylon the Great and the so-called American dream and things that this world has to offer. They want the riches of this world. They want the status. They want the women. They want the vainglory. All of these different things. This is what they prioritize in this world amongst you so-called blacks, Latinos, Native Americans. So you keep having these debates and all these different things, but it don't profit nothing. It doesn't profit anything. And I keep I wanna highlight this image that you see on the screen. Okay? Because not only does he look out of place and out of line and out of pocket with this panel, with these table, with the people on here, but it just goes to show, man. To me, I look at it spiritual, like we don't belong amongst these heathens, right? So-called blacks, Latinos, Native Americans, we don't belong among these. See, we don't belong sitting at the table with them. They belong under our table. Okay? All right, and I just wanted to make mention of that before I get into scriptures. There's something else that I wanted to point out. Right, if you look at the comment section, right, before I even click on it, you see that the comment that's showing, right? Who's that comment from? You got it. Preach Genesis mode. Okay, from the Genesis camp. What's this guy's name? Deacon Haka from the Genesis, formerly of Sakari. Okay, his comment says, pray our people see this and wake the F up. Okay, and of course he's gonna support some just madness like this because he's in the same vibration. They want to gain views and garner as much attention to themselves on their camp as possible. This ain't about Yahweh Shemel Shai. This ain't about waking our people up. Y'all trying to get views, get more traffic to your channel so you can sell more product, more merchandise, and look at me, right? Preach Genesis mode. He's the same guy who has the song and did the video talking about Hebrew and the Hellcat, seeing that GMS is jealous of him. Newsflash, we're not jealous of this world or anything in it. Right? Our apostles don't want what you have, which is absolutely nothing. Right? Guess what? Your car does the same thing as mine. I don't have a Hellcat, but my car does the same exact thing as yours. Right? It gets me where I need to be. All right, so I'm not gonna. But again, these are false prophets. Okay, these are false prophets in my eyes, and that's some of the scriptures that I want to get into. This is the book of Matthew, chapter 7, and verse 15. And again, this is a stark warning to the congregation, to those who are amongst these camps and amongst these men, and think that these are men of the Lord. They're not. Right? Matthew 7:15 says, beware of false prophets, which come to you in sheep's clothing, but inwardly they are ravening wolves. All right? Because this man got on all the get up, Captain Cesariak, as he always does. You know, the garment and the phylacteries and the this and this and that and the meat trees and all these, get the whole they all put together, because they say that sets them apart. All right. When you listen to, you really just have to listen to men speak. All right. Fringes and phylacteries and mitries and garments don't set you apart. Your spirit does. Okay. These men speak of everything that are not spiritual. All right. They always talking about you got to set apart. You got to see your fringes. You got to set apart. No. Your fringes is not what sets you apart. Okay. It's the spirit that you're in is what sets you apart, because you could know that you're an Israelite and be a complete demon. So an Israelite with fringes doesn't necessarily mean you're of the elect. Okay. It says, verse 16, ye shall know them by their fruits. Do men gather grapes of thorns or figs of thistles? Yeah, you know these men by their fruits, right? And a lot of these men on these camps, I mentioned this in my last video because I did a video going, speaking on these other camps, which I try not to do too much of. But, these things come to me and the spirit just jumps on me to go into it, So, it just is what it is. But, these men will have people in their congregations and do videos representing these different organizations and camps and such. And I mentioned this last time. One of the videos that we saw a few years ago, the guy said, we serve the nigga God. All right, ISUPK said they serve the nigga God. And this is the fruit that these camps are producing. Okay, and all the apostles are hard, and the elders and apostles, they always say, yeah, they believe that there's some of the elect amongst these camps, but they got to get away. You got to find a way to get away from these camps. You got to ultimately pray to Yahawashi. All right, it says a good tree cannot bring forth evil fruit, neither can a corrupt tree bring forth good fruit. Right? Every tree that bringeth not forth good fruit is hewn down and cast into the fire. Right? So this is what's going to happen amongst these camps. We're going to see the Lord start destroying them, as we've already started to see. All right, we see the Lord break up that whole Sakari thing. Same thing with Genesis. That ain't really nothing. It's just really like two guys representing it. Ain't really nothing going on with these camps, man. They're not producing good fruit. The Lord's going to cast them down and throw them into the fire, man. All right, this camp is about to be done with. I'm going to kind of, let me see, Ezekiel 13. In verse 6, it says, they have seen vanity and lying divination. Speaking of these false prophets, the Lord said, Yahweh saith, and the Lord have not sent them. And they have made others to hope that they will confirm the word. Okay? In the NLT, it says, instead, they have told lies and made false predictions. Right? And a lot of these camps are not prophesying with the true understanding, with the true breakdowns of especially prophecy and the things that are coming in the near future. Okay, it says they say this message is from the Lord, even though the Lord have not sent them, and yet they expect him to fulfill their prophecies. Okay, their prophecies, not what's written, not with the true understanding. Okay, it says, have ye not seen a vain vision? And have ye not spoken a lying divination, whereas ye say, the Lord saith, albeit I have not spoken it? In the NLT, it says, can your visions be anything but false if you claim this message is from the Lord when I have not even spoken to you? Okay. And these men are speaking lies, as it says here in verse 8 in the KJV. Therefore, thus saith the Lord, power Yahawah, because ye have spoken vanity and seen lies. Therefore, behold, I am against you, saith the Lord. And the Lord Yahweh is against these camps. He's against these panels and these debates and the spirit that these men are in. Again, when you see this And even when you look into the comments under Deacon Haka, all right, the one directly underneath that says Captain Smoke these guys. These guys are just looking for entertainment. A lot of these men amongst these camps, they want to be entertained by men and just kind of just watching you so-called cut, these heathens. All right. The next comment says the intro song extra hard. Like, come on, man. Y'all not in here to be edified. Y'all not in here for the truth's sake. Y'all in here for entertainment. You worried about the song? You ain't make no comment. You ain't put a precept. Let me see how many precepts is up. None. Look. This is how you know. You look at the comments, and again, there's only about 10 or 15 comments, right? But guess what? There's not one precept. Look again. That song is hard. Right? Look at this comment. Brick City Buckets, 1 million in 6 days and 40 racks in subs, meaning subscriptions. Soon doing great things using the Lord's word to spread the awareness to their lives. See that? Again, if you put this in your title, Captain Desire breaks internet versus Jewish rabbi, 1 million views in 6 days, the recap, right? You put that in your title, people are going to take hold and think that this is important, right? This ain't important because the elect is going to reach who is going to elect. It's not about reaching the masses. It's not about speaking to all black people and gathering black people and Hispanics and natives. It's not about that. It's about preaching the word, prophesying, okay, the right way, with the true understanding, and the elect will hear it. Okay? You see this comment? They were no match for the black. That's niggas, man. This is niggas for you. And this is the fruit that is bearing. You see this last comment? Frank Howard, 5135. Is that Charlie? Is that CK sitting at the table? It's like, come on, man. What's going on here amongst these people, man? Where do I want to go? Let me get it. Romans. Chapter 16, verse 17 and 18. Romans 16 and 17 says, Now I beseech you, brethren, cause them that... Now I beseech you, brethren, mark them which cause divisions and offenses contrary to the doctrine which ye have learned, and avoid them. Okay? These men are speaking contrary to the doctrine, the true understanding. Yahawashi says to avoid them. Okay? The letter from the Apostle Paul says to avoid them. Verse 18, for they that are such serve not our Lord Yahawashi HaMashiach. So they're not in this to serve the Lord. He's not going to this debate to serve the Heavenly Father. How'd that happen? There we go. You can't be right? He's not doing this debate to serve the Lord. He's doing this to serve his own belly, as the scriptures say. For they that are such serve not our Lord Yahawashi HaMashiach, but their own belly, and by good words and fair speeches deceive the hearts of the simple. And that's what they do a lot. All right? They get to deceive people who first of all, a lot of people who are not in sin. A lot of Jake so-called blacks, like not Latinos, Native Americans, who understand they're Israelites and they watch these videos and they know they're Israelites are and they call themselves by Israel and all these different things. They're easily deceived because they're not in this with the spirit of sincerity. They're in this for entertainment, to talk about how much they know, and to put the spotlight on themselves. Okay? Instead of putting the spotlight on Yahawashi, where it belongs. Right? Glorifying and magnifying those names is what we should be doing. Okay? Nobody gives a damn how many views your video got. Only the simple will care about how many videos you got. Because the true men of the Lord, the true men who are sincere, we understand that the message will be received by the elect one way or another. The message is not, we're not concerned with gathering and speaking to millions and millions and millions of Israelites. Only the ones who are going to get this, because 2/3 of our people are not going to get it anyway. All right? So who cares about the views? How many out of that 1 million views, how many of those you think are of the elect? You know? So let me get these last two, and then I'll close it out. Matthew 23 and 25. It says, "Woe unto you, scribes and Pharisees, hypocrites! For ye make clean the outside of the cup and of the platter, but within they are full of extortion and excess." Okay, and that's what we see amongst these camps. And we've been warned about our elders and apostles about a lot of these men that they've been amongst, that have their own camps and this, that, and the third. We've been warned by them, and we're taking heed, and we're seeing that what they've taught us is true about these men. All right, whether it's the Commanding General Yohanan from the ISUPK, or Bishop Nathaniel from IUIC. We've seen these men. We've listened to our apostles speak the truth about who they truly are and why they're truly in this. And it's basically all but confirmed that these men have sold out and taken a bag, and they can be bought. All right. Matthew 23 and 25 in the NLT. "What sorrow awaits you, teachers of religious law, and you Pharisees, hypocrites! For you are so careful to clean the outside of the cup and the dish, but inside you are filthy, full of greed and self-indulgence." And that's what you see again amongst these men. You see these guys with the phylacteries and the garments and everything. And they can speak well, and they're well studied, and they have a form of a way to speak to you, okay, in a manner that that gets your attention, okay, and it seems all good on the outside. And some of these camps may even be on the highways and the byways doing the work, right? But on the inside, it says you are filthy, full of greed and self-indulgence. And that's the only thing that makes sense when you when you find yourself in the midst of men like this. Okay, it's about doing what you got to do so you can make video, make clips, make content out of it, and hopefully it goes viral. And I do viral in quotations. All right, because nobody, a true man of the Lord, don't give a damn about going viral. And we don't care about how many views this video got. It's crazy, man. Verse 26 in the NLT. "You blind Pharisee, first wash the inside of the cup and the dish, and then the outside will become clean too." So worry about inside. Focus on the things that can feed your spirit and get your spirit right with Yahawashi. Make sure you're glorifying Yahawashi first. That's the priority. We don't need no light on us. Okay? Why would we want light shed on us? We're filthy rags, man. All right, we're still in this sinful flesh. We're not perfect. We're not perfected yet. Why would you want any type of light to shine on you? Okay, all we are is vessels for Yahweh to preach the word and gather the elect. With His word. We're merely just vessels, man. Okay, verse 27 says, "What sorrow awaits you, teachers of religious law, and you Pharisees, hypocrites! For you are like whitewashed tombs, beautiful on the outside, but filled on the inside with dead people's bones and all sorts of impurity." All right, and that's what we see: dead men's bones. Okay, because that's basically who you're preaching to. You trying to preach and reach as many views as possible. You trying to reach as many people as possible with your debates and your panels and things of that nature. You speaking a bunch of dead men's bones. You speaking to a bunch of zombies. People either don't know, don't care, and just looking for some entertainment, ain't truly looking to serve Yahweh Shema Shai. So all of this is pointless and it's worthless. Okay? As soon as y'all figure that out, the better off you'll be. Let me just get one more and close this out. Where is it? Ezekiel 14. Ezekiel 14, 9, and 10. I'm going to close it out with this. It says here, Ezekiel 14 and 9, and if the prophet be deceived when he has spoken the thing, I, the Lord Yahawah, by Shema Shai, have deceived that prophet, I will stretch out my hand upon him and will destroy him from the midst of my people Israel. Yeah, and again, because as prophets, as men of the Lord, we have a very, very serious job to do. And the Lord don't play about his prophets. He don't play about his word. He don't play about the vessels that he's given to preach his word to the elect. All right, so it's a serious thing to go out in the highways and the byways and to prophesy and things of that nature, because we're held responsible for the things that we say and the things that we do and and how we do it. Gathering elect ain't no small task. It ain't no easy task. It comes with a lot of sacrifice, and you can't be playing with the Lord's word. You can't play with the Lord's word. All right, verse 10 says, and they shall bear the punishment of their iniquity. The punishment of the prophet shall be even as the punishment of him that seeketh unto him. All right, that the house of Israel may go no more astray from me. All right, and if you're not doing the right thing with this calling, if you got the word, you got the understanding, you ain't doing the right thing by it, you're gonna set the Lord's flock astray. They're gonna completely go astray. Okay, that the house of Israel may go no more astray from me, neither be polluted anymore with all their transgressions, but that they may be my people and not me be their power, saith the Lord Yahweh Shema Shai. And that's the point. This is why we go do this work. This is why we just push the word and focus on doing the will and prophesy and teach and do and wrap zip the rest of that shit up, man. We don't have to we don't have to go amongst these heathens. We don't have to go looking to do debates and find ourselves on these different platforms, whether it's podcasts, whatever the case may be. It's not necessary. Okay, because the internet and the word and who it needs to get. Hey, Yahweh Shema Shai created the internet to do the heavy lifting, like the apostles always say. All right. We just literally have to teach and prophesy and edify. All right. Leave the rest up to Yahweh Shema Shai. All right. So I'm gonna leave it there. Again, just more of a warning. More warning to watch out who you're listening to, whose videos you're watching, which camp you join, who you subscribe to, who you spend time listening and learn from. You have to be careful, because we are at the end, and the end of all things are at hand. And if you're not in the right spirit, if you're not learning, if you're not, you don't understand what's really happening, because again, the MOTB, that hour temptation, is right around the corner. Once this man makes this micro C hit mandatory globally, you can forget it. Shut it down. Game over. Close the curtain. All right. So I'm going to leave it there. I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahawashi, Ba'ashem, Rakakwadash. Double honor to the apostles and the elders, the elder bishops, the great Millstone, who rule well. Peace and salutations to the elect. Shalom.